Welcome to our Wellness Wednesday Health Show. I'm your host, Dr. Kali Hewlett from the Back Pain and Sciatica Center of Texas, where we offer regenerative pain solutions. And today I'm excited to be on location with Kimberly and Jamila of New Leaf Spa and Laser. Welcome to the show, y'all.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Now, this is a new venture, correct?
It is a new venture. We have been practicing aesthetic medicine and wellness inside of our urgent care for the past 4 years. We were able to move to this beautiful new building and expand our services for our spa services.
Okay, so for 4 years you've been doing this, and now you're just, with the additional space, setting up a separate name and branding it.
Yes, we worked out of one room at our old location, and now we have 7 rooms.
So why New Leaf? What got you started 4 years ago in wanting to do this type of work?
Well, I've always been interested in aesthetic medicine. My background is emergency medicine for the last, I don't want to tell everybody, 27 years. But I wanted to do more of the take care of me kind of medicine, make myself feel better on the inside type medicine. And so I got into aesthetics about 9 years ago and had been doing it part-time while I was working in the emergency room. And then myself, Claire, and Connie Bolin, all 3 nurse practitioners, we met working at an emergency room together, and we found that there was a huge need for better services, affordable services for our community. And so we banged on a bunch of doors and finally got the loan to open our first business, which was the urgent care, and then we did aesthetics inside of that.
Okay, very cool. And you have 2 partners, right? So it's 3
nurse practitioners.
3 female nurse practitioners.
Yes.
I say that because I know sometimes these med spas, is that the correct term, med spa?
Medical spa, yes, med spa, yeah.
I know sometimes owned by a male, and not that's a bad thing, but I think that's pretty cool that it's 3 women who own it. So is it services that you guys all use yourself?
It is services that we all use ourselves.
Okay.
Absolutely.
In fact, that's how we learned some of the stuff on the laser, was practicing on each other.
Which I think is really great. I think that's awesome. I always say if you're a chef, you got to eat your own food.
Right.
So it's cool that these are things that you've worked on each other, you've refined, and really worked on mastering over the last 4 years, it sounds like.
And we're the same age as our clientele that we're focusing on. We're middle-aged women. We're in our 50s and our 60s. And we just want people to understand that you can look good and still be 50 and also make yourself feel better on the inside.
Yeah, no, I love that. What does it say that, 40 is the new 30, 50 is the new 40, and so forth. Mm-hmm. What are some of the main services that you offer here? And you mentioned your target market as well.
Sure, our target market, we can practice on or help any age group, but the target would be probably our middle-aged females, probably late 40s, mid 50s, up into the 60s.
Okay.
So, some of the things that we focus, the spa is kind of built around our photonic laser. It's a European laser. It's actually kind of 2 lasers in one. It has 2 wavelengths. It's an Nd:YAG and an erbium, so it can go deep into the tissue and also be superficial.
Okay.
It can treat you head to toe, and I could list these things off. I mean, it does hair restoration. It can also do laser hair removal.
Okay.
We focus on something called a 4D facelift. It's a non-surgical facelift, and it lightens, tightens, and brightens the skin, increases your collagen growth, and we also go through the inside of the mouth to build collagen, and then also do a full face on the outside.
Okay, so inside the mouth, so to tighten up the skin, but you go through the cheek.
Right. So you get better penetration and better collagen growth when you go inside the mouth. And it's the only laser that does that.
This is the first time I've ever heard of that. That is really cool.
Yes.
Very, very cool.
It does skin tightening, neck tightening. You can do body sculpting. It will do small veins less than 4 millimeters, like so for varicose veins. Skin tags, skin lesions, toenail fungus.
Okay.
There's podiatrists that actually buy this machine that does all these things only to do toenail fungus.
Okay. And it's all a laser, so light therapy, under that umbrella of light therapy?
Yes, wavelengths, yes. And cool. One of the good things about we love about this, especially for the middle-aged women, is that it also does vaginal rejuvenation and urinary incontinence.
Okay.
And then for your male patients, do you snore?
Okay.
It can also fix snoring.
Okay.
For obstructive sleep apnea. So
very, very cool. Now, I want to touch just briefly on vaginal rejuvenation, because some of the women that I've talked to, they're like, okay, guys, for the male, they have the pill, right? We've all seen the commercials. Mm-hmm. And the women are like, we don't have anything, right? They don't have a pill for the women that I know of.
That's true.
So I know there's a...
So as we age, the lining of the vagina gets very thin. It can also lose its moisture. It can make intercourse painful for someone in a relationship. This, just like going inside the mouth to do the collagen, it goes inside of the vagina and the laser goes through and rejuvenates the lining of the vagina, giving it back its thickness, giving it back its moisture. And I've seen a lot of really good success stories.
Okay, that is really cool. Very, very cool. Now, with the laser therapy, let's say the facials, for example, what would be an average? How many sessions typically is going to be based on, I'm sure, the individual and what their goals are?
So if we're talking about the 4D facelift, we normally say it's about 3, and then add 1 on for every decade. So if you're 40, you're going to get 4. If you're 50, you're going to get 5.
Okay.
And after you get those, then it's mainly just a yearly, once a year maintenance to keep that collagen growth going.
Okay, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
So get it in a good spot, and then once a year maintain it.
Right.
That is really neat.
And we also do injectables such as fillers. You can do hyaluronic acid fillers, which just plump. I'd say I'd probably use that more for a younger base clientele if they wanted that. For the older clienteles, there's Radiesse, which is a calcium base, which is the only collagen stimulating filler out there.
Okay. So how do those fillers differ than more some of the traditional ones?
Most fillers are out there are going to be hyaluronic acid, and basically your body makes hyaluronic acid on its own. When we were younger, we had a whole bunch of it, and it pulls in moisture and volume. So when we put hyaluronic acid inside the tissue, it pulls in that volume again. It lasts anywhere from 12 to, I'd say, 18 months.
Okay, wow.
And if you use something like Radiesse, which is the calcium-based, which is the collagen stimulator, you see results instantly. When you walk out of the office, that's what you're going to look like for the next, it dissolves and goes away in 3 months, but your body stimulates, makes that collagen, and then you keep that look for about 2 years.
Very cool.
Yes.
That is really awesome.
Oh.
Now, if someone comes here for the first time, what's like a step 1 process?
Step 1 process would be to have a consultation, not only with myself, but also with Jamila, who's our skincare expert and medical esthetician.
Now, when they come in, will they always meet with one of the nurse practitioners or yourself?
There's a nurse practitioner here every day.
Okay.
We might step away to do some marketing or help out on the urgent care side if it's busy, but there is a nurse practitioner designated here each day to run the laser and assist with any kind of issues that you might have. But Jamila is also very well versed in the medical esthetician field.
Now, having a nurse practitioner, some places are just only have estheticians and don't have any medical personnel actually on site. Does that allow you to do more by having a medical provider here on site?
It does allow us to do more. Medical estheticians in the state of Texas are not supposed to do any kind of injectables without a actual provider on staff and here in the building in case something happens. Okay. And then the laser that we have is so sophisticated, and the technology it has to be run by a medical doctor or a nurse practitioner.
Okay.
There are some things that Jamila can use on it, but for the most part, a physician or a nurse practitioner has to be present when that laser is turned on.
So just by having you in the building, it allows you to offer more advanced services than just a place that has an esthetician only.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That is really cool. Okay, so step 1, we'll come in, we'll have a consultation. I'll tell you, hey, these are some of my concerns, some of the things I want to be able to accomplish by coming here.
And I usually tell my patients, list down everything. You can do all of it, you can do some of it, or you could do none of it.
Okay. Makes sense.
But this is our plan for you. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, how we're gonna get you to where you wanna be.
Okay. So it sounds like you really work with the patient and identifying their goals and then saying, hey, if you have a lot of things you're gonna work on, let's just take it in bite-sized chunks. Right. And you really work with them.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Now, location-wise, where are we at and best way to connect with you, whether it's online, phone number, Facebook, anything of that nature?
Sure. So we are located at 2510 South Loop 336 West, about a mile and a half away from the highway going west. You can contact us at 936-628-2825.
5323.
Oh my goodness. I get my urgent care number mixed up with my spa, so it's 936-628-5323. You can also look online at newleafnewyou.com, and I think that's that's about it.
We'll put the
Yeah.
links, for those of you watching these either on Facebook or email, we'll put the links on there. And it really is a beautiful new building. It's a 2-story white building here, and they take up, gosh, almost like half the building on the bottom floor. So a lot of cool stuff they have here. And it's the building that we're gonna be moving into next year will be upstairs. Now, Jamila, you've been quiet most of this time, so
Yeah.
before we go, that way our audience can hear from you. What are some of the things that you're excited about at New Leaf?
I am always excited about just being able to rejuvenate your skin. I feel like if you hand a woman a mirror, they're like, oh God, I look horrible. And I just feel like I want you to feel like the best you can be. So what my job is I bring you in, we look at your skin under a mag lamp, we figure out exactly what your goals are, and we figure out how to get you there, either with me or with Kimberly. If it's fillers or anything like that the client needs, then I'll talk to Kimberly. But if it's surface, or if it's, sometimes we can do things like surface facials, microneedling,
okay.
which is collagen induction therapy, and that's from the outside of the skin only.
Okay.
And that just stimulates that collagen growth and fires it up.
Okay, very cool. And before we go, before the camera, everyone, we talked about hormones a little
Yes.
bit. So you want to highlight that briefly as well?
Sure. I am super passionate about hormones, and we feature BioT, which is a bioidentical hormone replacement. It doesn't come with all the side effects and the bad outcomes that you can use with synthetic hormones. They're small little pellets. We make a small incision in the skin, put those pellets in after we get some basic blood work on you and see if you're a candidate for it. But the results are amazing, and I'm so passionate about it because it's completely changed my life. I'm a completely new person for the last 4 years. My husband can attest to that. But if you're feeling sluggish, you're having mood swings, you're having night sweats, you have no libido at all, come see me and we can fix you.
Okay, that is really awesome. So it sounds like you have a really comprehensive medical spa that you've established here. Several years of experience,
Yes.
Some passionate people that are part of your team here, and so that's very cool.
Yeah. And I did want to also let you guys know that Claire Pollard, who's my also business partner and nurse practitioner, she's very passionate about weight loss. And if you're having any issues with weight, you need to lose weight, you need to gain some weight, come see Claire. She'll fix you up.
Okay, awesome. Well, Kimberly, Jamila, thank you for your time today, and we're excited to have you here. And I'm sure there's lots of people watching this today that will be reaching out to you, just because I know that's always a conversation that we hear in the office amongst our patients, whether it's bioidentical hormones or different aesthetics. I know my wife, that's a conversation I think she frequently has with some of her friends.
Yes.
As you know, we're close to that age bracket that you described, so very excited to have you guys. Anyways, wish you guys the best, and we'll see y'all next week.
Thank
Happy
you.
Wednesday.
Bye.